Hi, it's very late. I just had to pop on. Wasn't planning on doing an update, but I actually went in and if this is your first video, welcome. I'm an author, independently published author, recently got something published on Neopets kind of unexpectedly and made a video about that, and now I'm doing an update. So I wasn't gonna pop on here, but like I said, I hadn't read the story since I first retyped it up and resubmitted it at the end of 2023. I've just been submitting it from the same document. And so I went in and read the story, or the first part of the story in the Neopian Times. And my experience is quite different from what I remember getting published in 2007 to 2012 was like. And I had some questions I just wanted to ask to the void here, because like I said, it's been over a decade since I've written anything for the Neopian Times, or gotten anything published for the Neopian Times, because like I said, I wrote that 15 years ago and just made minor changes to it as I was typing it up. First things first, I got published in the Valentine's special issue, which is great. They sent me a pink paintbrush as a thank you, or bonus reward for that. But I got a Valentine's themed artwork for my story. And my favorite part about submitting stories was looking forward to what artwork they were going to choose to represent my story. Sometimes it was like reusing one that had already been made. Sometimes they would make a brand new one just for my story. And I got just like default Valentine's artwork. Ignore what time it is. I've been like absolutely just, a lot of stuff has happened today, okay? But there's no white Aisha in my story. And it just has very little to do with this Valentine's themed picture. I don't know if maybe in the next non-Valentine's themed issue I'm gonna have a different picture. I don't know. Like I said, it's like they usually, in my memory, they use the same picture for every installment, but I haven't, it's been since 2012 was the last time I got anything published, okay? So that was my first concern, or not concern, but the first thing I noticed was like, oh, like I get default Valentine's artwork. Okay, not the end of the world. Like, would have appreciated something related to my story, but you know, it's not the end of the world. I was reading it and I don't know who's editing this, because like I would submit stuff back in the day, and I am very aware that like Neopets does not send my stuff through the professional types of editors. Like I pay my editor for my actual like real life books hundreds of dollars to make sure I'm not using active voice instead of passive voice, make sure the verb tenses are correct, all those things that usually slip my mind. I don't expect Neopets to do all that, okay? Like that's gonna be as good as it is whatever I wrote. Like, I'm sorry, like that's just gonna be the way it is. But who is editing this? Because I vaguely remembered like the way I would write, the way that the grammar structure of Neopet species and colors worked is the color was not capitalized, but the species was always capitalized. And that was something I learned very early on, because I would usually like leave everything lowercase, and then they'd be like, no, like you have to capitalize it because it's a species title, or species name. And so I would do that. But then like when I was first reading the story in the Times last night, it was like the first few times pets were mentioned, the color and the species were capitalized. So I'm like, okay, I guess that's a new thing they're doing, cool. But it wasn't like that through the whole thing. Like not all of them were capitalized. Some of them were, the color was lowercase, the species was capitalized. And I'm like, okay, so like I would have had it consistent. So somebody went in and changed some of it, but not all of it. And it was that inconsistency that was just like bothering me. And there's like a reference to the band Grundo, which had multiple U's in it. And they changed it to just Grundo with one U. And I'm like, that defeats the purpose. But they only did it once. Like the second time the band is mentioned, it has the right number of U's. And I'm like, what? So it's like these inconsistencies are bothering me. And like, I'm obviously not expecting like a professional level of editing, and obviously I didn't write it perfect, but like some of the things I'm like, was that a choice? Like what I didn't do that. And I'm like, it's now tied to my name, so it's like, you know, like, especially as I am like a legitimate author. Granted, you wouldn't know that from looking at my Neopets profile, that I also have actual books, or an actual book published, one on the way. I'm hoping to put up a pre-order link very soon. And like, you wouldn't know that from looking at my Neopets profile, but still, it's tied to my username. It's tied to me. And there's all these inconsistencies and stuff. And the thing that like really threw me was, because you can't put things in italic or bold or center alignment or any of that in the Neopian Times submission form. You've never been able to do that. That has not changed. The form looks exactly the same as it did all those years ago when I was submitting to it. But like, if I put a scene break character in there, they would know to center it. They would always center my scene break characters. If I put like something was handwritten on the on paper or on the whiteboard, it would always be in italics. The song lyrics, because like I said, there's a song quoted at some point. I don't know if I don't remember if I put the asterisks in there for the song quote, hoping that they would say, like, they would see that as a cue to italicize it, or if they just chose to do that. I don't remember. The point is, it's bothering me. Like, the way they edited it is bothering me. I'm like, why is that not centered? Why are these things not in italics? Like, because I can't, like, I don't know if you, like, other people have submitted to Times, did you, like, put, like, coding in your thing to, like bracket, I, bracket, and then when it was done being italic, bracket, slash, I, bracket, like, did you do that when you wanted something italic? Like, were you allowed to do that? Because I never assumed I was allowed to do that. I just thought that, you know, they just pick up on what was supposed to be italic and what wasn't, and I hope for the best. But yeah, I guess we're just gonna see how things go. There's 7 parts total, so I'm not planning on filming an update every single week. I'll probably film one next week, or not next week, whenever the next issue of the Neopian Times comes out, just to like be like, okay, here's like my thoughts after week 2. I don't know, but I'm not gonna do an update for all 7 issues. I just wanted to pop on and address all of that, because I'm like, if anybody's out there who's written for the Neopian Times within the last couple of years and can enlighten me on, like, do they have a new person doing the editing that just doesn't care about things? Like, obviously, like, there's different people in charge of it because it's not coming out as often. Like, I don't know, like, just somebody explain to me what is going on with the Neopian Times, because this is not the experience that I remember having when I was in middle school and high school, okay? And, you know, I was thinking, if this went well, I might try to dig up some of my other old stuff and not rewrite it, but like make changes to it and submit it and see what happens. But like, I don't know if I can put the effort into that, knowing that like it's gonna look, for lack of a better way of saying it, I'm so sorry, I teach high school, chopped. I don't know. But anyway, it is like 2:30 in the morning. I have been in my car most of the day. I need to go to bed. I just had thoughts and I wanted to talk about them before I forgot them, so.